Welcome back to another episode of The Quest for Self. I'm your host, Allie. Have you ever gone on a date and felt something shift? Not in the vibe of the place, not in the person you were meeting, but in yourself. I recently went on a date where I noticed that shift clearly. Even before I got there, something just felt different. Normally, before, during, and after, I'd be nervous, wondering if I'd said the right thing, if I looked okay, if he'd text me after. But that night, I just trusted myself. It felt new, and honestly, it felt so good. I showed up to the date with this quiet confidence, a kind of peace I hadn't felt in a while. And yeah, I brought Mia, my dog, because let's be real, if she doesn't vibe with someone, that's a red flag in itself. But it was more than that. It was something internal. I wasn't overthinking my words. I wasn't trying to present a version of myself I thought he'd like. I was just me. Open, grounded, clear, curious, not needy. And the biggest difference? I wasn't there to be chosen. I was there to choose. So today, I want to talk about that shift. The one that happens when you start dating from fullness instead of emptiness. When you realize the spark doesn't come from them, it comes from you. So let's talk about dating from emptiness versus dating from wholeness. Most of us, especially women, are taught to treat dating like a kind of audition. We wonder, will he like me? Instead of, will I even like him? We go into dates hoping this is the one. Or we match with someone and immediately start fantasizing. Maybe he is. Maybe we'll vibe. Maybe it'll turn into something. We do this without even realizing it, creating stories in our head before the real connection even begins. That's dating from emptiness. That's dating from a place of wanting to be validated, of hoping someone else's attention will fill a gap in us. So, here are some signs you might be dating from emptiness. Are you already thinking about the future before the first date even happens? You interpret every message, every silence as a reflection of your worth. You feel disappointed when someone doesn't meet an expectation you never even voiced. You want to be chosen, even if you're not totally sure you'd choose them. I've been there. We all have. There's no shame in it. But here's what it looks like to date from wholeness. You show up curious, not desperate for connection. It feels calmer in your body. There's no tightness in your chest, no anxiety buzzing beneath the surface. You're not rehearsing what to say, you're just present, and whatever flows, flows. You're clear on your values, and you're using the date to observe, not to impress. You listen to how you feel in their presence, not just whether they like you. You stay open but grounded. You don't shrink your standards to fit someone's potential. And listen, that shift doesn't happen overnight. For me, it came after years of inner work, therapy, journaling, affirmations, working on myself, being single on purpose, choosing myself on the hard days. I'm not perfect. I still get lonely. I still have to check in with myself. But the energy I bring now is totally different and it changes everything. So let me tell you about a date I went on not too long ago. This guy checked a lot of the boxes. He loved dogs, loved to travel, was sweet and generous, took me out to dinner. I was really late to this date, like embarrassingly late. And it wasn't even on purpose. But he was so kind about it. He didn't even make me feel bad at all, which honestly stood out to me. We ended up having such a solid conversation, the kind I hadn't had with someone in a really long time. It felt easy, like we were already friends, and that's genuinely what I'm looking for. Something that starts with a foundation of friendship and then naturally flourishes into more. Then, toward the end of the night, he mentioned he didn't have a job. He was looking, still figuring things out. Now, for someone else, that might be okay. But for me, stability is non negotiable. I've worked really hard to build a life for myself, and I'm looking for someone who's also built a foundation, not someone who's still searching for one. And here's the real moment of truth. A few days later, I felt lonely. Madrid was gray and rainy, kind of like we were in the UK. And that ache crept in. The one that says, well, maybe I should give him another shot. And that's the thing about loneliness. It whispers. It tells you maybe you're asking for too much. That a little company is better than none. But that's not the voice of truth. That's the voice of lack. And I'm done listening to it. And I didn't. Instead, I chose myself. I grabbed my things, went to the gym, moved my body, and reconnected with myself. Because here's what I know: settling never makes the loneliness go away, it just delays the real connection you're meant for. So let's dive into some practical tools for dating from wholeness. These are some things that have helped me, and I hope they'll help you too. Number one, check in with your energy. Before or after a date, journal it out. Did I feel like myself? Was I trying to impress, or was I truly trying to connect? Did they meet my energy, or was I carrying the vibe alone? Number two, make a non negotiable list. One of my friends taught me this. Create two columns: must haves versus nice to haves. This way, you're not being overly picky, but you're also not compromising on the things that matter most. Three, don't follow a script. I used to say things like, I'm dating with intention, but it started to feel so stiff, like an interview. Now, I let things flow. If I find out what somebody wants in a relationship on the first date, great. If not, that's okay too. I trust that clarity comes with time. Four, set a pre date boundary with yourself. Ask yourself, is this person even intuitive enough to deserve my energy? Am I scheduling this date because I'm excited or because I'm bored, lonely, or avoiding something? Number five, celebrate yourself, even if it's not a match. If the connection doesn't lead anywhere, that doesn't mean it was a waste of time. You showed up, you were brave, you probably learned something, and that's always a win. At the end of the day, dating isn't a test you have to pass. It's an experience you get to have. You're not auditioning, you're observing. You're not waiting to be chosen. You are the one doing the choosing. When you start dating from wholeness, everything starts to shift. You're no longer looking for someone to complete you. You're seeing who aligns with the full, beautiful life you've already built. And if there's one thing I always remind myself, it's that every step you take leads you closer to a better version of yourself. Even the awkward dates, the moments of doubt, the ones that don't go anywhere, they're all part of the process. So next time you show up on a date, tell yourself this: you are not behind, you are not too much, you are not late. You are simply becoming the version of you that knows you are the spark, not the one waiting for it. Walk into that next date with your shoulders back, your heart open, the knowing that you are already whole. The spark? It's not something you find, it's something you bring. Thanks so much for listening to this episode of The Quest for Self. If you enjoyed listening to this episode, like, follow, subscribe, comment, and share. It would mean the world. Also, don't forget to follow us on social media, The Quest for Self.